Parents, when was the moment you saw your child's spirit break? For me, it was when my 8-year-old son, Leo, took down every single drawing from his bedroom walls. Leo isn't a sports kid. He's a quiet boy who lives in a world of dragons and magical creatures. His drawings are his whole life. They're incredibly detailed, full of imagination. But his third-grade teacher, Mrs. Gable, didn't see it that way. She was old school. She liked art that was neat and followed the rules. Smiling suns, stick figure families. Every week, she'd put student art on the superstar wall. Leo's art never made it. She'd hold up his drawings of epic fantasy battles and say things like, "This is a little too aggressive for our classroom, don't you think?" in front of everyone. Her favorite student was a girl named Madison, whose perfectly neat but boring drawings were always front and center. Then the school announced its annual art fair. The grand prize was a full scholarship to a summer art camp. Leo was beyond excited. He spent a month working on a huge, incredible painting. It was a fantasy city, with all his creature creations living together. It was his masterpiece. He was so proud taking it to school. But when I picked him up that afternoon, he was silent. He walked straight to his room, and I heard him taking down his pictures. I went in and saw him carefully putting all his art supplies into a box. He wouldn't even look at me. He just said, "Mrs. Gable said my art is too weird. She's not putting it in the fair." I saw the light just go out of his eyes. That was it. His spirit was broken. I was furious. But instead of just yelling, I took a high-quality picture of Leo's painting. I have a cousin who runs a popular local art blog. I sent her the picture and a short story about what happened. The next morning, my phone was blowing up. The post had been shared hundreds of times. People were leaving comments like, "This kid is a genius, and I'd buy a print of that right now." But then I got a message that changed everything. It was from a woman who said her son had Mrs. Gable last year. She said the teacher did the same thing to him, and that Madison, the favorite student, she was Mrs. Gable's niece. The day of the art fair, I walked in and it was already a scene. The principal was there, along with the district superintendent. They had seen the blog post. Mrs. Gable was standing by Madison's painting looking flustered. The superintendent walked right past her display, went to the storage closet where Mrs. Gable had hidden Leo's painting, and pulled it out. He set it up on an easel right in the middle of the room. The entire room went quiet. He looked at Leo's painting, then at Mrs. Gable, and just said, "Explain this." She started stammering about rules and themes, but the other parents who had seen the blog post started speaking up, one after another. She did that to my daughter too. She told my son his art was disturbing. Leo didn't just win the scholarship. A local graphic design studio saw the blog and offered him a paid internship for when he's in high school. Mrs. Gable was fired for ethics violations and favoritism. When we got home, Leo walked into his room, opened his box of art supplies, and started drawing again. His first picture was of a little boy slaying a monster that looked suspiciously like a mean old teacher.